Let's look at solutions for CAT 2021 slot 2 QA. There was one question within this exam that I found challenging. Rest of it was fairly manageable. Let's see. Consider the pair equations. X square minus xy minus x is equal to 22 and y square minus xy plus y is equal to 34. If x is greater than y, then x minus y equals. Okay. When you look at these two equations, simply add them up. X square plus y square minus 2xy minus x plus y is equal to 56. These terms here give us x minus y whole square minus x minus y is equal to 56. X minus y, if I take out common, I'm left with x minus y minus 1 is equal to 56. If I take x minus y, this entire thing is a variable. A into a minus 1 is equal to 56. Now, given that all the options are integral, I have to find an integral value for a. I have to find an integral natural number value for a such that product of two consecutive numbers is 56. It is, of course, 8 into 7 that I'm dealing with. So value of a, which was a proxy for x minus y, is 8. Answer to the first question will be option D. Okay. Moving on. In a football tournament, a player has played a certain number of matches and 10 more matches are to be played. If he scores a total of 1 goal over the next 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.15 goals per match. On the other hand, if he scores a total of 2 goals over the next 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.2 goals per match. The number of matches he has played is. Okay. Variables, matches so far. Calling it 10 and goals so far. Calling it G. So G plus 1 by N plus 10 is equal to 0.15. If one more goal was scored in the next 10 matches, this was the situation. The other situation was G plus 2 by N plus 10. This is equal to 0.2. I can happily get rid of the denominators here. Divide the first equation by the second one. We get G plus 1 by G plus 2 is equal to 3 by 4, which gives us G is equal to 2. If G is equal to 2, look at the number of matches. This is now 2 plus 2 by N plus 10 is equal to 0.2, or N plus 10 is equal to 4 by 0.2 or 20, or N is equal to 10. Now, I don't know if somebody had this doubt or not. The number of matches he has played, should we be going for 10 or should we be going for 20? Because 10 more matches and everything is mentioned. What you have to pay attention to is this is a hypothetical that is mentioned. If he scores a total of 1 goal over the next 10 matches. So these next 10 matches haven't happened so far. Or if he scores a total of 2 goals over the next 10 matches. The next 10 matches haven't happened so far. So when they are asking the number of matches he has played, number of matches that he has currently played is 10, which should be the answer to this question. Next, for all possible integers n satisfying 2.25 less than equal to 2 plus 2 raised to the power n plus 2 less than equal to 202, the number of integer values of 3 plus 3 raised to the power n plus 1 is. Okay. Fun thing, we can break down this 2.25 as 2 plus 1 by 4. This is less than 2 plus 2 raised to the power n plus 2, which is less than equal to 2 plus 202. Given that 2's are identical across the board, I can happily eliminate them from thinking. Sorry, this will be 200, not 202. This will be 200. I can happily eliminate 2 from the thinking. So now I have 2 raised to the power minus 2 is less than equal to 2 raised to the power n plus 2, which is less than equal to 200. Now n plus 2 has to be greater than equal to minus 2, or n has to be greater than equal to minus 4. One limit for n has been identified. The other limit for n here would be, I know 2 raised to the power 7 is 128 and 2 raised to the power 8. 2 raised to the power 8 is 256. So I can only go up till 7. So n plus 2 is less than equal to 7, or n is less than equal to 5. So n can lie in the range -4 to 5. Now, within this range, there are 10 values. Within this range, there are 10 values. And if you went ahead and marked 10 as your answer, it would be a problem, because the question was not how many values can n take. The question was how many integer values can 3 plus 3 raised to the power n plus 1 take. Now, for this to be an integer, for this entire expression to be an integer, this portion is always an integer. We have to ensure this is an integer. Now, 3 raised to power k, for this to be an integer, k has to be greater than equal to 0. K has to be greater than equal to 0. Now, if k has to be greater than equal to 0, n plus 1 has to be greater than equal to 0, or n has to be greater than equal to -1. So now I have a new constraint on n. N has to be lying in the range -1 all the way up till upper limit of 5. In this range, let's see what all are we getting. How many values would we be getting? -1 to 5. This should be giving me 0 to 5 is 6. 7 values. But 7 to nahi aaya tha. I'm most likely making an error. Let's see. Okay. 7 ही है, ठीक है. But basically, yahan se na, this was a sort of distraction where you can go up till -4 and everything. This was sort of a distraction. What you had to take care of was this constraint as well. Okay, moving on. Let D and E be points on sides AB and AC respectively of a triangle such that AD is to BD is 2:1 and AE is to CE is 2:3. If the area of the triangle AD is 8 centimeter cube, 8 square centimeter, then area of the triangle ABC in square centimeter is okay. AD is to ED. So first let me name ABCD. A, B, C, 2:1. Let this be D. This is 2x. This is x. And AE is to CE is 2:3. Let this be E. This is 2y. This is 3y. And we have been told area of the triangle AD is 8. Now, area of ADE is given by half into AD into AE into sine angle A. This is equal to 8 and AD is 2x. So we've got half into 2x into 2y into sine A is equal to 8. Finally, they're asking me area of triangle ABC, the entire triangle. Area of the entire triangle would be half into AB into AC into sine A. And this here is half into 3x into क्या है 5y into sine A. The fun thing is, hopefully you can see x, y and sine A and x, y and sine A are identical. So I can happily replace them. I can get rid of 2 and 2 gone, 2 and this gone to 4. I've got 4 now. X, y sine A gives me 4. So now what I'm dealing with is half into 3 into 5 into 4. So cancel 2. Net I get is 30. Area of the entire triangle will be 30. Okay. A person buys tea of 3 different qualities at rupees 800, 500 and 300 per kg respectively, and the amounts are in the proportion 2:3:5. He mixes all the tea and sells 1/6 of the mixture at 700 per kg. The price in INR per kg at which he should sell the remaining tea to make an overall profit of 50% is. Okay, let's see. Given that he's also able to make 1/6 and the ratio numbers add up to 10, I'm taking let there be 30 kgs in total. So if 30 kgs are there, the first variety was taken 6 kg of it. Then 500 wala variety had 9 kgs of it. And 300 wala variety had 15 kgs of it. So our total cost price is 4,800, 4,500 and 4,500. Altogether adds up to 13800, 13,800. Now 1/6 of the mixture was sold as 700. 1/6 of the mixture will be 5 kg. 5 kg was sold at 700. So sales wise 3,500 has been accounted for. 45, 45, 45, 8. Yes, seems fine so far. Mixes all the tea, sells okay. So 3,500 of the mixture has been accounted for. Cool. Now the price in INR at which he should sell the remaining tea to make an overall profit of 50% is. So if you want an overall profit of 50%, what you ideally need is SP to be 3/2 of 138.00. So cancel with 2, we get 6900, or here we get 207. Okay, 20700. This is the sales that we need in total, of which sales that have been affected so far are 3,500. So how much more sales do we need? We need 17,200. 17,200. The difference between these two, 200 or 3, yes, 17,200. For how many kgs? We had a total of 30 kgs, of which 5 kgs have been sold. So we need it for 25 now. Okay. So my final answer, the rate at which the remaining 25 kgs get sold will be obtained here. I get 6 here. which gives me 22 left. 220 gives me 8. There is just one option with 68 I can mark. Another, and then what am I left with? Blah, blah. 68, 200, another 68. So final answer 688, or option A will be the correct. Okay. I'll go through the storyline again. A person buys tea of 3 different qualities, 800, 500, 300. Price is indicative of quality here. And the amounts bought are in the proportion 2:3:5. She mixes all the tea and sells 1/6 of the mixture at 700 per kg. So the total quantity is a multiple of 10 because the ratio numbers add up to 10. And you're also able to figure out 1/6 of it. So what would be useful is taking the total quantity as 30 kg, which would mean the first quality was taken 6 kgs, the second quantity was taken 9 kgs, the third quantity was taken 15 kg, which enables us to get to total cost price. From the total cost price, we know we eventually want a profit of 50%. So we can get to total selling price. From the total selling price, because 1/6 of the mixture was already sold at 700, we can also get our sales generated so far 3,500. So from our sales target, however much sales has happened so far, remove that. Then whatever we are left with, that is the total sales generated from the remaining 25 kgs. So the rate at which the remaining 25 kg have to be sold off is 688. Next now. For all real values of x, the range of the function fx is equal to. Okay. If you pay close attention, if you took the term in the numerator, in the denominator, what you have is 2y plus 1. If this, you took this entire thing as y, in the denominator, what you have is 2y plus 1. 2 times of x square plus 2x plus 4 plus 1. This is what you have in the denominator, which informs us that however you may split it, this value will always be less than half. This value will always be less than half. Because this value will always be less than half, you can happily rule out option A and option D from the running. The only options that survive the scrutiny are option B and C. Now, between option B and C, the difference is simply of whether 3/7 will be acceptable or not. Can you have it as 3/7 or not? Let's see. Again, when you look at this expression, can we write it as x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 3 upon 2 times of x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 7? Basically, completing a perfect square in the numerator, completing a perfect square in the denominator. So we have x plus 1 whole square plus 3 and 2 times of x plus 1 whole square plus 7. Can this be equal to 3/7? Very much so, if x was equal to -1. If x was equal to -1, the perfect square portion will turn to 0. So I can achieve the value of 3/7. Option B excludes the case of 3/7. So that is also incorrect. Correct answer should be option C. Next, the number of ways of distributing 15 identical balloons, 6 identical pencils, and 3 identical erasers among 3 children, such that each child gets at least 4 balloons and 1 pencil is. Sorry. If every child is getting 4 balloons, then let's start off by giving every child 4 balloons. If I give every child 4 balloons, there are 3 children. Everybody has got 4 balloons at least. So how many more balloons am I left to distribute? 3 of them. Similarly for pencils, because everybody has got 1 pencil each. How many pencils am I left with? 3 pencils. So now let the 3 children be A, B, C, and I'm distributing balloons to them. This would be the equation. This is for balloons. The number of ways in which balloons can be distributed to them. If you were doing it for pencils, can you see the expression would be identical? And for erasers, it would again be identical. So altogether, whatever value you get here, whatever number of cases you get for the first one are the same number of cases that you would get for the latter ones. Now we are simply looking for non-negative integral solution sets. It is given by 5 Newton. 3 plus 3 minus 1 C3 minus 1, which is equal to 5C2. Yeah, 10. Of course, the logical way of thinking it is 3 laddus, 2 partitions. In how many ways can we arrange them? 5 factorial by 3 factorial, 2 factorial, which gets us to 5C2. So the ways of distributing balloon is 10. The ways of distributing pencil will also be 10. The ways of distributing eraser will also be 10. And the fact that we have to distribute balloons and pencils and erasers, our final answer has to be 10 into 10 into 10, which altogether becomes 1000, which is the answer to this question. Next one, 3 positive integers, x, y, and z are in arithmetic progression. If y minus x is greater than 2, and xyz is equal to 5 times of x plus y plus z, then z minus x is equal to what? Okay, let's break this down. X, y, z are in arithmetic progression. And we are told y minus x is greater than 2. Regardless, y is the middle term. If y is the middle term, can I go x, y, z is equal to 5 times of 3y? Sum of terms in an AP is number of terms into the middle term. So x, y, z is equal to 5 into 3 y. So I can get rid of y from both sides. Now I have x, z is equal to 15. These are also positive integers. So the only possibilities are x being 1, z being 15, or x being 3, z being 5. We also know that the common difference is positive because y minus x is greater than 0, which means 3, 5 as a case will not be possible, because if 3, 5 was the case, the 3 numbers in AP are 3, 4, and 5. We can't be having that because right now the common difference is not greater than 2. So the only case that works is 1, 8, and 15. Let us check if it pans out well. 1 into 8 into 15 is 120. And we are comparing it to 5 into 15 plus 1 is 16, 16 plus 8, 24. Yes, these two terms are identical. Everything is fine. So difference between x and z will be 40. Option D. Next. This is an extended expression for log. So you have to take care of parts slowly. Let me write it down. Log 2, 3 plus log 3, 4 plus log 4, x minus 1 minus 2 is equal to 0. First thing, of course, that you have to do is get 2 to the other side. Once you get 2 to the other side, if I take anti-log, or 2 raised to the power 2 is equal to everything within the large bracket, 2 raised to the power 2. So I can happily get rid of this and turn this to 4. Now it is 4 and it is 3 plus something. So I can get rid of 3. This becomes 1. Once this has turned to 1, I can again get rid of log 3 raised to the power 1 would be equal to what is present within the curly brackets. So I have 4 plus log 4 x minus 1 is equal to 3. Get cancelled of it. I get minus 1, or x minus 1 is equal to 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1, or x is equal to 1 plus 1 by 4, which is equal to 5 by 4. Now the final question asks me, what is the value of 4x? So 4x would be equal to 4 into 5 by 4, or the final answer to the question is 5. Next, from a container filled with milk, 9 liters of milk are drawn and replaced with water. Next, from the same container, 9 liters are drawn and again replaced with water. If the volumes of milk and water in the container are now in the ratio of 16:9, then the capacity of the container in liters is, okay. See, because you're drawing 9 liters of milk every time and replacing it with water, here again 9 liters are drawn and replacing it with water. The element you should be focusing on is water, milk, because every time it is changing in ratio terms. Let's say the multiplicative impact of removal of 9 liters of milk or 9 liters of whatever was present in the container was K, multiplicative impact. So previously it was filled with milk. 1 into K into what? Why am I writing 6? 1 into K has led to proportion of milk in the container turning to 16 by 25, or K square, the multiplicative impact of removal of 9 liters of water has turned to K square is equal to 16 by 25, or K is equal to 4 by 5. Now see what I mean by multiplicative impact is, whenever you are taking out 9 liters, you are leaving behind in the container 4/5 of whatever was present initially. Which means if you're leaving behind 4/5 of what was present initially, you are taking out 1/5. And that 1/5 in the question is given to us as 9 liters. So 1/5 of container is 9. So container size should be 45. Container size should be 45. Answer to the question. Or a more conventional way I will talk of it. See, because the ratio numbers add up to 25, let there be 25 liters initially. Let there be 25 liters initially. And we will engage in what? Initial milk was this much. And then final milk was 16. In the intermediate portion, there was something happening. Hopefully you can see, if the initial value was 25 based on the ratio numbers, there was some change, and from this intermediate you have reached final. Given that milk is always changing in ratio terms, can you hopefully identify that this middle number here is going to be the GP of 25 and 16, or 20%? Matlab, from 25 we are reaching 20, and from 20 we are reaching 16. So if the total was 25, we are taking out 5 to reach 20. If the total was 25, we are taking out 5 to reach 20. if we are taking out 9, just linking these two together, if we are taking out 9, how much was initial? It has to be 45. You're taking out this to reach 36. Then whatever has happened doesn't really matter. Yo, moving on. Question 11. Okay. Raj invested 10,000 in a fund. At the end of the first year, he incurred a loss, but his balance was more than 5,000. So his loss was not greater than 50%. Okay. When invested for another year, this balance, when invested for another year, grew and the percentage of growth in the second year was 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. If the gain of Raj from the initial investment over the 2-year period is 35%, then the percentage of loss in the first year is, okay. Let's say his initial investment was 10,000. Because he suffered a loss, it would have gone down in value by X%. So 100 minus X has happened. But in the second year, it grew. And the percentage of growth in the second year is 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. So in the second year, it has gone to 100 plus 5x by 100. And this is now equal to 35%, overall 35% growth. So 135 by 100 into 10,000. Okay. So I can cancel this 100, this 100, this 10,000, this 10,000. Now what do I have? I have to multiply these two. I get 10,000 minus 100x plus 500x. So plus 400x minus 5x square is equal to 135,000. Let's take stuff over to the other side. When we take stuff over to the other side, we have 5x square minus 400x plus 3,500 is equal to 0. Divided by 5, I get x square minus 80x plus 700 is equal to 0. 80 divided into two terms whose product is 700 is minus 70 and minus 10. So we get x minus 70 and x minus 10 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 70 or 10. But given the constraint, he incurred a loss, but his balance was more than 5,000. If his balance was more than 5,000, the loss that he incurred has to be less than 50%. So 70 is not acceptable. The answer has to be option A, 10. Next question. For a real number x, the condition 3x minus 20 plus 3x minus 40 is equal to 20 necessarily holds if. Okay. If we try to make a graph out of this, the two roots are 20 by 3 and 40 by 3. At x equal to 40 by 3, this expression gives me 0 value. This expression gives me 3 into 40 by 3, 40 minus 20, I get 20 itself. Now, to the right-hand side of this, the slope is 6. To the left-hand side of this, the slope is 0. To the left-hand side of 20 by 3, the slope is minus 6, which means the graph that gets created is something like this. The value obtained here was 20. And the same value will be maintained up until this point because slope of the graph is 0. So now the precise range of values for which we get a 20, the precise range of values is going to be 6.66 to 13.33. The question asks me which for the real number x, the condition necessarily holds if. Now look at this. Does this range have any value outside of it? 9 as a lower limit is not a problem, but 14 as an upper limit is problem. This contains a value like 13.5 where you're not getting a 20. So this is unacceptable. Is this fine? 11 as an upper range is not a problem, but this range will have a value 6.5, which is unacceptable. We can only have values within this range. Okay, 10 to 15. 10 as a lower limit is not a problem, but 15 as an upper limit is problem. It contains 14. We can't have that. We can only go up till 13.33. Within this range, well, this is not the precise range. This is not the precise range. The real number range is from 6.66 to 13.33. There is no value within this range which violates the condition. Therefore, the answer to this question is option D. Next, two pipes A and B are attached to an empty water tank. Pipe A fills the tank while pipe B drains it. If pipe A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 3 p.m., the tank becomes full at 10 p.m. Okay. Let's say the inlet pipe had efficiency of A and outlet pipe had efficiency of B. Inlet pipe had efficiency of A and outlet pipe had efficiency of B. So 8 inlet plus, see why I'm saying 8 inlet, it was opened at 2 p.m. work got over at 10 p.m. So for 8 hours the inlet was running and 7 outlet, this was the total work. Instead, if pipe A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 4 p.m., the tank becomes full at 6 p.m. In the second case, the inlet has run for 4 hours and the outlet has run for 2 hours. In both these cases, however, the same tank is filled, which means I can happily equate them. If I can happily equate them, I get 4A is equal to minus 5B, or A by B is equal to minus 5 by 4, which means the inlet rate is 5 and the outlet rate is minus 4. With that knowledge, hopefully you can also get to the conclusion. The tank size is already known to us. 8 into 5 is 40. 4 minus 4 into 7 is 28. So the tank size is 12. Tank size is 12. If pipe B is not opened at all, so there is no minus 4 working, then the time in minutes taken to fill the tank, 12 by 5 or 2.4 hours. But the time was asked in minutes. So we have to convert this into minutes. 2.4 into 60, 24 into 6, or 144 will be the answer. Option D. Next. The sides AB and CD of a trapezium, ABCD, are parallel, with AB being the smaller side. Okay. A, B, C, D. P is the point of CD. P is a point of CD and ABPD is a parallelogram. Okay, let's say this is P. Oh, AB is the midpoint. So this line is equal to this line. Okay. ABPD is a parallelogram. Fine. If the difference between the areas of parallelogram ABPD and triangle BPC is 10, then the area in square centimeter of the trapezium ABCDs. Now see, area of ABPD is the height, this height, and this base. Let's call this X. If DP is X, PC is also X. Area of ADPB, yeah, ABPD, as they have named it, is HX. An area of BPC is half HX. Half HX. So if the difference between these two is 10, can I say HX is equal to 20? which means the area of the parallelogram is 20, which also means area of the triangle is 10. So area of the entire trapezium ABCD will be 20 plus 10 or 30. Yeah. Two trains A and B were moving in opposite directions, their speeds being in the ratio 5:3. The front end of A crossed the rear end of B 46 seconds after the front ends of the trains had crossed each other. It took another 69 seconds for the rear ends of the trains to cross each other. The ratio of length of train A to that of train B is. Okay. You have to look at point objects here. For the first storyline, first part, look at this point, the front of train A, front of train A. The watch has started here. This is the starting situation, and it has ended here. So the point object, can you see, from our starting instant to our ending instant, the point object has covered what distance? Length of train B. Length of train B was covered in 46 seconds with what speed? Speed of A plus speed of B, because both these trains were moving in opposite direction. This is our first storyline. Now within this storyline, the final state serves as the initial state for the next part. Look at the end of train B. This is when they meet. The end of train B meets the front of train A at this point, and this checking is over. When this point manages to reach the end of train A. Now, this X, how much distance has it effectively covered? It has just covered length of train A. So length of train A was covered in 69 seconds. In 69 seconds, with what speed? The relative speed itself. So if the speed in both these cases are identical, the times taken is also the ratio of length or the ratio of distances covered. So ratio of times taken is 2:3. So ratio of length will also be 2:3. But the question asks me length of train A to length of train B. So answer should be 3:2 or option D. Okay. A box has 450 balls, each either white or black. There being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. If 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic, then the number of non-metallic balls in the boxes. Okay. Let's go white, black, metallic, non-metallic. We're told there are as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. So if this is X, this is also X. Cool. So I have 2X here. If 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic, which means the total of the black balls should be 2X and total of the white balls should be 2.5X. 40% is X, then 100% is 2.5X. So non-metallic balls here would be 1.5X, and here they would be X. Non-metallic is 2.5X. Now the fun thing is, regardless of which path you take, we know that the total number of balls are 450. Total number of balls are 450. Now 4.5x is 450. Or x is equal to 100 we can reach. Once we reach that, we can fill up all the numbers. This is 200, this is 250, this is 200, this is 250, this is 100, this is 100, this is 100, this is 150. Finally, they've asked me number of non-metallic balls. So answer is of course 250. We have done far more than what was asked in the question, but okay. Next question. The rhombus has area 12 square centimeter and side length 5 centimeter. Then the length in centimeter of its longer diagonal is. Okay. Trying to break it down. This is 5. Let's say this is A. This is B. Sorry, this is also A because the diagonals are bisected. This is B. This is B. So if the area of the triangle is 12 square centimeter, can I go half into 2A into 2B is equal to 12, or cancel. 2AB is equal to 12, or AB is equal to 6. In addition to that, what do we know? A and B, they are perpendicularly bisecting each other. So A square plus B square has to be equal to 25, 5 square, Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So now, can I also go ahead and do something fun? I have A square plus B square and I have AB. So I can make two fun things. I can add plus 2AB. I can add plus 2AB. A square plus B square plus 2AB will get me to 25 plus 12 will get me to 37, or A plus B whole square is equal to 37. The other case would be, instead of taking plus 2AB, I can take minus 2AB, which will get me to A square plus B square minus 2AB. 25 minus 12 will get me to 13, or A minus B whole square is equal to 13. So from here I get A plus B is equal to root 37. I don't have to bother about the negative version because these are lengths, so they have to necessarily be positive. And A minus B is equal to under root 13. So if I add these two up, I get 2A is equal to root 37 plus root 13. Just pay attention. This is what we need. The length of the longer diagonal. No? Length of the longer diagonal is 2A, not A. Somebody might make a mistake of dividing this by A and then marking option C as, option A as the answer. That is, of course, not correct. The correct answer here is option B, root 37 plus root 13. Little bit of algebra and geometry, of course. Next, for a 4-digit number, the number of digits in the thousands, hundreds, and tens place is 14. Sum of the digits in thousands, hundreds, and tens place. So let's say for a 4-digit number, these three add up to 14. And the sum of the digits in the hundred, tens, and units place is 15. These three add up to 15. So if the digits were this, A, B, C, D, hopefully you can directly reach D is equal to A plus 1. D is 1 more than A because B, C are the common terms. They are present in the first summation also, second summation also. D is 1 more than A. So we can put it there. Next. And the tens place digit is 4 more than the units place digit, which means C is equal to D plus 4. Because we already have a term for D, can I say C is equal to A plus 5? C is equal to A plus 5. Okay, then the highest possible 4-digit number satisfying the above conditions. If I'm looking for the highest possible 4-digit number satisfying the above conditions, then we have to look at what is the highest value that C can take. C, see, the constraint here is on C. Okay, if you take an inordinately high value for A, C may become impossible. But C, if you start off with C, your life is simpler. The largest value, if I assign to C, D will get 5 because C is D plus 4. Additionally, A will get 4. Now, because the first 3 digits add up to 14, I have 9 and 4, 13 already. The second digit has to be 1. And this is the largest number that can be created. Answer to the question is 4195. Okay. Next question. For a sequence of real numbers, x1, x2, so on and so forth, up until xn, if x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus x4 and so on, plus minus 1 raised to the power n plus 1 xn is equal to n square plus 2n for all natural numbers, then the sum x49 plus x50 equals. Okay. See, of course, when they're asking you to do this, they don't expect you to calculate it that far. There has to be some trend. So let's go ahead and see what we are getting. X1 will be equal to 1 square plus 2n, so 3. Now, x1 minus x2. x1 minus x2 would be equal to 4 square, sorry, 2 minus 2 whole square plus 2n. Let's see. I think I am not doing it. Okay. Last term is xn. So, okay. So I'll get how much? 4 plus how much? 4. Okay. So 3 minus x2 is equal to it. Okay, okay. I'm doing it correctly then. So this gets me to x2 is equal to minus 5. x2 is equal to minus 5. Now pay attention. I have kept this around. So that when I get to x3 calculation, I don't end up needing to do it again. 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11 plus x3 is equal to 9 plus 6, 15. Yes. So this gives me x3 is equal to n square plus this. Okay. x3 is equal to 4. Doesn't look nice. Have I missed something? Hi. x1 is 3, 1 plus 2n, fine. Then x2 is, if I'm looking for up till 2, so 3 minus x2 gives me minus 5. This is fine. Now when I'm looking at x1 minus x2 is 8. So 2 square plus 2n is 8, not 11, is 8. This is what? x1 minus x2, only this much portion we need. So this gets me here, which gives me x3 is equal to 7. Fine. Next we have 15 minus x4 is equal to 16 plus this much. So 24, which gives me x4 is equal to -9. Next I have what? 24 plus x5 is equal to 35, or x5 is equal to 11, or final term after this identification is pretty much done. 35 minus x6 is equal to 48, or x6 is equal to -13. Hopefully you can see the terms are consecutive odd numbers. The terms are consecutive odd numbers. It is just that every alternate term is negative. As in, you have -5 here, you have -9 here, you have -13 here. So even when you go here, can you see you will get two consecutive odd numbers, and the eventh term, 50th wala term, will be larger and it will be negative. X4 is negative, X2 is negative, X6 is negative. So 50th term will be larger and negative. So summation of these two terms will of course be -2. Okay. Another way you can potentially do this. Another way you can potentially do this is, can you see if this trend continued, you can go get up till x1 minus x2 plus x3 minus x4, so on and so forth, up until x49 minus x50. If we went this far, we would have 2500 plus this, so 2600. This much we would have. Now, we can also go same initial stuff up until minus x48, which will be equal to 2304 plus 96 is equal to 2400. So we would get x49 minus x50 is equal to 200. This much we have got. Another way, the additional thought that we can engage in is, now see, don't just stop at my x49, x48. Let's go up till x49. So we would have x1 minus x2 plus x3, blah, blah, and blah, up until x49. This will be 2401 plus 98. So I get 2499. Now see, from this expression to this expression, the increase is only on account of x49. So x49 is equal to 99. X49 is equal to 99. 99 minus x50 is equal to 200, or x50 is equal to -101. If you can reach this, we already have x49 equal to 99, x50 equal to -101. Then you can reach the answer -2. Even this is an acceptable path to take. Okay. Anil can paint a house in 60 days, while Bimal can paint it in 84 days. Anil starts painting, and after 10 days, Bimal and Charu join him. Together, they complete the painting in 14 more days. If they are paid a total of 21,000 for the job, then the share of Charu in INR proportionate to the work done by him is. Okay. Anil can do a job in 60 days. Bimal can do it in 84 days. So LCM of 60 and 84 will be 35 and 12, 420. Okay. 420 units of work. Now, Anil worked for 10 days and then he worked for 24 days. Okay, total units is 420. So Anil works at the rate of 7 and Bimal works at the rate of 5. So Anil has worked for the initial 10 days and also for the latter 14 days. So he has worked for 24 days. The amount of work Anil has done is 24 into 7, which is equal to 168. Now Bimal has only worked for 14 days. So 14 into 5, he has done 70 units of work. So together they have completed 238 units of work. So the amount of work done by Charu, we don't know his efficiency, but the amount of work done by Charu is 182. 182 out of 420. So this is 182 out of 420 is the work done by Charu. The payment that Charu should receive is 182 into 50 or 91 into 100. The final answer should be 9100 or option A. This is one way of doing it. The other, this is the way of doing it. Let's go. This is the question I had a problem with because this question assumes something that is not necessarily correct, or maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Anil, Bobby, and Chintu jointly invest in a business and agree to sell the share the overall profit in proportion to their investments. Fine. Anil's share of investment is 70%. So Anil should also receive 70% of profits. His share of profit decreases by 420 if overall profit goes down from 18% to 15%. Okay. If overall profit is going down from 18% to 15%, okay, this question is not incorrect. It is fine. Overall profit. When we say overall profit goes down from 18% to 15%, what are these percentage figures in definition of? They have to be 18% or 15% of the total investment made. So 70% of the percentage change. The percentage point change here is 3%. 70% of 3 percentage point change of the investment is equal to 420. This is told to us. Let us work. We get this and this cancelled. This becomes 2, or the total investment in the business is 20,000. If the total investment in the business is 20,000, now see, Anil has already invested 20,000, 70%. Chintu's share of profit increases by 80 rupees if the overall profit goes up from 15% to 17%. Okay. So let's say Chintu's share was C by 100 into the percentage point difference in profit is 2. This is 2% of the investment made, which we know to be 20,000 now. And this is given to us as totaling up to 80. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, or C turns out to be 20. Share of investment of Chintu is 20%. For Anil, it was 70%. The third person that is left, Bobby, will of course be 10% now. 10% investment out of 20,000. So the amount invested by Bobby has to be option D, 2,000. Option D, 2,000. And the final question, suppose one of the roots of the equation ax square minus bx plus c is equal to 0 is 2 root 3, where a, b, c are rational numbers and a is not equal to 0. If b is equal to c cube, then modulus of a equals. Okay. Now, if the coefficients of a polynomial are rational, and as in for a quadratic more specifically, the coefficients are rational and one of the roots is irrational, the other root is the conjugate irrational root. If one root is 2 plus root 3, the other root is 2 minus root 3. Hopefully you can see product of roots here is how much? Product of roots here is 2 minus root 3, 2 plus root 3. Product of roots is 1. 4 minus 3, yes. And sum of roots here is 4. So the equation that is getting created will be x square minus sum of roots is 4. This is product of roots. Sum of roots is 4. X square minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. This is what is getting created. This extra a, why I'm doing, even if I were to multiply each of these terms, roots would remain the same. So final form of the equation, what we have is kx square minus 4kx plus k is equal to 0. Now pay attention. We are told b is equal to c cube. B is 4k. 4k is equal to c cube. C was k. So k cube. I can cancel off one of the k's. So I'm left with k square is equal to 4. K square is equal to 4. So k is equal to, can I say k will be equal to either 2 or minus 2? If it is 2 or minus 2, that is the value of a as well. So the modulus of a will be equal to 2 only. The correct answer is option D. Is everything understood, understandable so far? Now I've done it in the slowest manner possible that I can. I will now try to come up with, if there were some things that I could see in question, more insightful based things, I will talk about them now. Okay, so I have this question, nothing really. This was straightforward. Nothing really, this was straightforward. Nothing really. Here, ideally in the exam setup, what I would want you to do is this much. 2, 2, 1, 3, y, y, x, x, whatever. So if you can see, 2, 2 gives me 8. So 3, 5 should give me 30. This is all the work that should happen in terms of similarity and area finding. Here, okay. 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 Here you could have also solved it using options. If nothing else struck you, this x plus y plus z should turn to 3y. If that doesn't strike you, what you could have also done is using options, because z minus x will be 2d. Is 2 times the common difference. So the options given here are 2 times the common difference, which means the common difference can be 4 or 6 or 5 or 7. Basically, just create a series 1, 5, 9, 1, 7, 13, 1, 6, 11, 1, 8, 15. The simplest series I've created. Now see, 1 into 5 into 9 gives me 45. What am I getting on the other side? 1 plus 5 plus 9 is 15 into 5. 15 into 5. So for the first option, I'm getting 45 and 75. Not good enough. Achha. 1 plus 7 plus 13 gives me 21. Sorry, not 21. 91 product. And can you see the product on the RHS is a multiple of 15. So anyway, it is not possible. Now product here is 66. RHS is a multiple of 5. Anyway, this is not possible. So the only option left is 120. And we are getting 120. So option D should be the answer. You could use options to get to the answer here, is it? Okay, this one also nothing too fancy. This one, I hope we focused only on milk. Here, I'll give you one exam setter's insight. The question had clearly stated that the answer, as in the loss cannot be more than 50%. Yet there was an option 70 present. The 70 can only be present. In order to give you an enticing choice, or in order to get you to mark the wrong option and everything. So what I would have done, or what I actually did, this was my slot. What I did was, पहले हमने 70% का लॉस कराया, फिर हमने 350% का गेन कराया. So the movement was 10,000 to 3,000, and then 70% का लॉस, फिर 350% का गेन. So 4.5 into 3,000, I reached 13500. These were the numbers that I'm getting. If these are the numbers that I'm getting, and this is what I had to do. Happily, I could have gone. Check करते हैं बाकी options के साथ. 10,000 से 10% loss, 9,000, और उससे आगे गए 50%. हाँ, बिल्कुल ठीक चल रहा है. Therefore, 10 will be the answer. Wouldn't need to make equations. You can actually check these numbers in your head. Anyway, अब तो मेरे को 70 भी यूजलेस ही लग रहा है, क्योंकि 35% का गेन हुआ था, डायरेक्टली वहीं से चले जाते. Anyway, this one here, graphing is the best way. Okay. This one here, I hope we remember this observation कब से चालू होता है, घड़ी कब से चलनी चालू होती है, all of this from class, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर काफी लंबा टाइम बिताया था हमने. मेटालिक, नॉन मेटालिक, फेयरली स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. यहाँ पे होपफुली अब ए बी की कहानी निकालने के लिए इतना इक्वेशन नहीं खेल रहे थे. जुगाड़ अपने को पता था, अगर 5 चल रहा है तो 3 4 ही फिट करना होगा. अगर 3 4 फिट किया होता तो मजे आ जाते. तो बहुत मजे आ जाते, क्योंकि अगर 3 4 फिट किया होता तो फिर अपना लॉन्गेस्ट डायगोनल पे लड़ाई रहती. इसमें बस ठीक है, ये भी चलेगा, काफी है. ये स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड था, ये स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड ही था. इसके अंदर ज्यादा अक्लमंदी से ये कर सकते थे. अनिल ने 24 दिन काम किया है. So he has done 40% of the work. If he works for 24 days out of 60, he has done 40% of the work. Bimal has worked for 14 days out of his 84 that he takes. So he has worked for 14 days, which is equal to 16.66% of the work. So now 16.66%, 40%, उस हिसाब से काम चल रहा है. तब सी ने कितना काम किया होगा? 43.33%. 43.33%. तो 43.33% अगर निकालना ही है तो कैन आई गो 2/5 प्लस 1/30? ऐसा कुछ काम चल रहा है. 2/5 प्लस 1/30 इंटू 21,000, ये पकड़ना है हमें. 2/5 प्लस 1/30 का अगर कैलकुलेशन करना है, इसको देख के ये पता चल रहा है वट एवर आंसर यू गेट विल नेसेसरली बी अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 7, क्योंकि नीचे ऊपर से कट के 7 तो नहीं गायब हो रहा. If 7 is not getting cancelled, the only option that is a multiple of 7 is the first one. वही आंसर होगा. बेसिकली हमने बीच रास्ते में, आई डोंट थिंक हमने हर जगह बताया, बट अ लॉट ऑफ दीज केसेस में ना ऑप्शंस ऐसे घटिया, ऐसे ऑप्शन आ जाते हैं कि यू डोंट रियली हैव टू सॉल्व फॉर इट इन एंटायरिटी. इसमें भी 688 लाने का काफी फेयरली आसान तरीका है. बट एनीवे, लाइट लेते हैं. कहाँ थे अपने, ये खेल रहे थे. ये वाला क्वेश्चन भी सस्ता ही है. ये वाला क्वेश्चन भी सस्ता ही है. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फ्रूट्स, सम ऑफ फ्रूट्स, दैट इज ऑल फॉर द क्वांट सेक्शन ऑफ 2. स्टॉपिंग द रिकॉर्डिंग नाउ.